Hey everyone, welcome back to the second episode of Fix Your Profiles. In this series, you guys send me your profiles through Twitter or via other social media platforms. I analyze your top scores, score trends, give you suggestions, and more to help you become as well-rounded of a player as possible. Let's start with our first player. Physically, you're a pretty strong player. You play quite a bit of chord jacks, your stamina is solid, and is on par with your other skill sets as well. I noticed that there's one crucial focus in your play that could save a ton of accuracy in your scores, and it simply boils down to hitting the notes a bit later. Looking at your mean from a few replays, your mean exceeds negative 10 milliseconds, which means you are hitting very early consistently. I believe this fix alone will change your play very positively and should inch you closer to the ratios listed here. Looking at your top accuracy plays, you've dabbled in some higher judge scores, which is awesome to see. I think for you, Judge 6 would be a great place to start, and you could slowly work your way up to training your accuracy with Judge 7 if you feel like that helps you get better feedback on your accuracy. Since you play a decent variety of files, I do not have any pack suggestions for you as a result. Your chord jack stamina is actually very good too, but you seem to be falling behind a bit on the stream files you play. Given most of your stream points don't necessarily come from stream files, this seems to be a matter of inexperience rather than a lack of skill. I would try virtually any stream pack, whether they're rolly or with a bunch of mini jacks, as immersing yourself in stream specific files will be a big step alone, and then you can polish them as you get more used to them. Your top accuracy play is actually pretty decent, so I'd like to see more plays similar to that score. Lastly, your technical scores don't correlate to many technical files, so I would try out some technical packs too. With that said, here are your pack suggestions. Virtually all of your scores are exactly what I would look for. Ratios are good, CB spreads are pretty clean, and you're playing for scores in the 96 plus range quite a bit. The only two things I noticed is that you only seem to have one wife AAA, and that most of your top tech scores don't come from technical files. Other than that, I couldn't really find anything else, and given how well-rounded you are already, it shouldn't be an issue for you to improve upon these things. With that said, here are your pack suggestions. The biggest thing I'm noticing is that you are hitting quite late in a majority of your plays, which is why your mean results in being larger than 10 milliseconds. Normally for people that are hitting too early, it boils down to trying not to fall behind or because of an offset issue, but it becomes a bit trickier with hitting late. My first suggestion would be to play around with your offset by hitting F6 twice during gameplay, and playing the song until you find your accuracy feeling much more natural. My second suggestion would be to slow down your scroll speed. While 1050 distant isn't necessarily super fast, it is decently fast for someone around your skill level. Given you're averaging around 10 to 15 milliseconds late, I would decrease your scroll speed by 25 and adjust accordingly to find something that will allow you to hit more in time with the receptors, rather than falling behind them. The only skill set I don't see you dabbling in quite as much are streams, so I would try to familiarize yourself with more files in the 200 to 220 BPM range. With that said, here are your pack suggestions. All of your scores in the AA range have pretty solid ratios overall, and your pure accuracy scores are very good too. I would just be a little careful when playing stuff a little too out of your comfort zone, such as your scores that fall below the 90% barrier, as it causes not only inefficient scores, but unnecessary straining as well if done often enough. Don't be afraid to test the waters, but try to keep it pretty minimal if anything, or simply exit out if you're really starting to fall below into the mid-80s mid-song. Putting some more handstream scores out there would help too, as the majority of your handstream scores come from jumpstream oriented files. Other than that, your skill sets are pretty balanced overall, and you seem to have a good range of packs under your belt, so I do not have any pack suggestions as a result. While you only have a few pages of scores on your profile, I was able to notice that you were playing a lot of jumpstream files, but aren't dabbling in the likes of many technical, stream, or handstream files. Putting some AAAs up on the board would be another good way to diversify your catalog of scores. Since you are only playing once a week, it is hard for me to assess what packs you should play since your time seems rather limited, or you are playing another Mania related game. With this in mind, I would suggest checking out my pack tutorial video, and try to immerse yourself with as many different packs as possible as you play more and more. Virtually your entire profile is exactly what I'm looking for, aside from iron out your technicality and incorporating a bit more speed into your play. Regarding your stream scores, you seem to be hitting decently early in most of your top plays, which could be why your PA is a tad higher than normal. Other than that, you're set. Here are your pack suggestions. Aside from a few exceptions, your ratios are good as well as your MA scores. It seems like you were playing a lot of jumpstream and handstream, but aren't necessarily putting a focus on songs with single note streams, or files with a lot of technicality. I think with a bit of time in pack exploration, you can not only familiarize yourself with new genres of packs, but you can improve these skill sets as well since you have a solid stamina base from your stamina oriented scores. With that said, here are your pack suggestions. Very similar ordeal with Seymour. You seem to be hitting very late, which shows that you were either falling behind, have an improper offset, or that your speed mod is too high. I would try troubleshooting with all of these solutions and try your best to find what the most prevalent source is, as this is causing a detrimental effect on your accuracy. Along with that, you seem to be playing for scores under the 90% range a tad too much as well, so I would try to maintain that 95 to 96% plus range on easier files to not only prevent overtraining, but to also allow you to have a better opportunity to fix your overall accuracy. Lastly, your play is heavily centered around single streamed files, so I would begin to dabble in some of the introductory jump stream packs to get you started. With that said, here are the packs I think you should play. Over the last few weeks, I noticed that you were playing quite out of your comfort zone a bit, which results in you falling behind in some of the harder files you play. Looking at how often you play, it seems like you are only able to play a couple times a week, which can definitely take a toll on one's stamina over time due to it not being conditioned consistently. The best advice I can give is to find out what skill sets you can improve due to your restricted time and return to steady rehabilitation tactics when you return to relatively consistent play again. This means playing stuff that you are capable as of now, rather than what you were back at your peak, as this is a common mentality players can get wrapped into when playing after such a long break. Players seem to be playing a tad too out of their comfort zone. Try to minimize scores that fall below 90%, as this can cause overstraining and various bad habits along the way. Rather than a lack of skill sets, it seems as if players are simply not aware of certain packs, so I will have my pack tutorial video in the description, or you can check out the bundle packs offered in the in-game client. Stream seem to be the least played skill set, next to technical, as a lot of you have really solid stamina but aren't quite playing the likes of single stream or technical files. Thank you all for watching. For the players that are mentioned in this video, feel free to DM me if you have any more questions and I'll be happy to help. I wish you all the best of luck, and also to those who are perhaps learning off of the examples shown today. Remember to stay disciplined but also have fun when playing. Shoutouts to patrons Oam, Penda, Princesswell, Spencer, Water is Good, and Zildjian65 for supporting the channel, and feel free to support me on Patreon for more rhythm gaming content, along with my other links below. I'll see you on whatever video I upload next, and take care.